We continue the broadcast live from Big 12 Football Media Days in Frisco. I'm Pat Strathman, pleased to be joined by the former Maize Eagle going into his senior year at Kansas State. QB1 of the K-State Wildcats, Avery Johnson, joining us here in Frisco. Avery, good to see you. Can you believe this is senior year for Avery Johnson? Now, maybe that goes away because of the 5-and-5 rule, all that wonderful stuff. I don't think you really call anyone a freshman or a sophomore anymore, but you're going into senior season. How crazy does that sound?
Yeah, it sounds crazy. But I mean, super blessed to be at K-State for another year. It's honestly a blessing in itself to be in Manhattan, and I'm super grateful. So
You told me that you're not getting tired of these. This is your third time coming down here. You sure you're not getting tired of these? You can say you can be. It's fair.
see, I'm not a big interview guy anyway, but I know it's part of the game. And I know I'm going to be doing interviews for probably a pretty long time. So it's better to just enjoy them. I think some people have a kind of their own swag of being able to make an interview kind of fun and interactive. So
sure.
I think sometimes you get kind of the same repetitive questions throughout the day.
Of course.
But I mean, it's just part of it, man. I'm kind of a vet to this.
Yeah, you're
now,
a vet.
So.
You're the leader. You're the guy that everyone turns to, which, you're used to that role. Last year, the type of season that you guys had certainly had its ups and downs. What'd you learn from last season that you can take into 2026 here for the K-State Wildcats?
I think that it's just so much of how much the details matter. And I think the things we were doing last spring and winter and summer had played such an impact, a direct role in why we were 6-6 in the season. And I think if you let little things slide in the off season and guys aren't all the way bought in and you don't put enough time and effort in to things and you think you're going to walk in to a place and win games and that people are going to hand anything to you, that's just not the nature of this sport. And that's not the nature of this league. I think we have a really competitive league and the margin of victory is so small. So I think we saw it last year and we came out on the back end of it. But I think the year before we won those one-score games, and that's why we had an opportunity to kind of be towards the end and even in the Big 12 championship race. So I think we had to do a better job of winning one-score games and starting faster this year.
What was the process like when the season ended and you're trying to figure out the future? What was that like for Avery Johnson? How'd you go about handling that?
Yeah, first it's just like utter surprise. I mean, I think the whole like I was talking to coaches and players and stuff like that. Like everybody was just caught off guard about the retirement of Coach Klein, and I think it was going to be announced later in the week, but somehow somebody caught word of it and it was leaked. So started off in surprise, and then now it's just like kind of a waiting game. It's like, who are they going to hire? Who's they going to have to come in and replace? And I was just kind of waiting and feeling things out. And then they hired Coach Klein, and I thought that could have been no better hire. And after one conversation, I think is all it took. And I was just like, hey, if I come back here for my senior year, do you think we're going to be able to be competitive in this league? Do you think we can win the Big 12 championship, make the college football playoff, like all these things? Like I have one more season left. I have all these goals in my mind. And still haven't accomplished anything that I said I was going to accomplish when I came to K-State. Is that something you think we can do here? And Coach Klein, being the competitor that he is, told me, man, it's not going to be easy. He's never lied to me. He said, but I think we can do it here. But it's going to take you to get things started. And after that, it's just was trying to keep as many guys of our core guys that we had from last year a part of the team. But I think at the end of the day, it's like, if you don't want to be here, if you don't believe in K-State, if you're not going to be a part of our culture and what we're going to be about, then we're better off without you, and we'll find guys that want to be here and find guys that want to lay it all out on the line. And that's what Coach Klein went and recruited, and we got a great staff to coach us. And I think we have a bunch of guys bought in this year, and it should be fun to watch in the fall.
Well, I think what you just said there, isn't that Coach Klein to a T? Like, do you want to be a part of this or not?
Yeah.
And if you don't want to be a part of this, then okay, go do something else. I think that's refreshing. Sometimes you don't get that old school mentality nowadays. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Well, I do want to ask you this. Coach Klein, you and him obviously have a close connection there. He ends up going to Texas A&M. Now he's back. He's the head coach. Is there a difference between Coach Klein, the offensive coordinator, the guy who recruited you, and the head coach? Is there any difference with Coach Klein?
I think you know the answer, and it's no. I mean, Coach Klein could be a GA, a fan, a coach, a dad, just a friend. Like Coach Klein is the same person through and through, and that's who makes him who he is. And I think everybody just has that type of respect for him and what he's accomplished as a player, what he's accomplished as a coach, and what he's going to accomplish in the future. And I think we're all bought into his plan, and we're ready to go lay it out all on the line for him this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Avery Johnson, QB1 of the K-State Wildcats, joining us here from Big 12 Football Media Days. All right, this is the final go-around. We've kind of talked about that, or potential final go-around. I'll just keep saying that because college athletics and the world that it is today, it's hard for me to put an actual class on you or how many years you got left because, honestly, you just have no idea anymore. So I'll just steer clear of that. But as you take a look at this offseason in spring ball, what have you seen from the offense? Since you're so used to this now, you certainly have new targets that you get a chance to work with and play around with. Guys coming in via the transfer portal. You have Jerron Tibbs who's coming back. You're used to some of those guys there with Lincoln Cure and Will Ancio. And, of course, Joe Jackson, who's a guy who was certainly a big weapon last year. As you take a look at the offense, what was it like in the spring ball season for this offense?
It was a lot of fun because I think you have opportunity to, kind of build that chemistry, get the timing down with the new wideouts we got in the portal. And I think we got a bunch of guys that do a bunch of different things. And that was kind of in the wide receiver room and the quarterback room this spring, it was like, okay, figuring out what type of body guys do we have, what type of body types, speed, or do we have bigger guys that can go get jump balls? We have guys that are going to run past people, and it's kind of figuring out each receiver and what they're the best at. And then as quarterbacks, how can we give them balls that can showcase their abilities? If they're a speedster, you get them the ball in space, let them run by guys, put some air in their balls, let them adjust to it. If they're a jump ball guy, you give them a back shoulder, you put some air under it, you let them go and adjust the balls. And I think you throw to players and don't let plays dictate, things like that. And then Coach Klein calls plays to get guys balls in space. We have the deepest running back room I've had since I've been at K-State, and a bunch of offensive linemen that I think we're going to be able to have 7 or 8 interchangeable guys that will be able to play a bunch of snaps for us this year. So I think starting with the offensive line is we go as those guys go, and being able to run the ball and throw the ball is going to be super important for us this year because we're going to have to be able to take what the defense gives us. So I'm super excited to be able to line it up this fall and really showcase what this offense has talent-wise.
I did ask Coach Klein if you had a favorite target, and he said the open one. Is that true? Just whoever?
And I really couldn't care less. I think chemistry-wise, it would probably be Tibbs because I've thrown to Tibbs the longest. But this is what I tell all the receivers. I'm like, if you're getting open consistently, then you're going to get the ball. Like, I'm not going to look one way or the other because of anything. Like, I'm going to go through my reads. I'm going to throw the guy who's open. And if you show me that you're going to get open consistently, I might look your way a little bit longer. So I think guys have been doing a really good job in the spring of just kind of being able to take coaching and like, hey, tell me what I did wrong on that throw. Where would you like this ball? Or I can be able to say, hey, you're too deep on that route. Flatten this route off for me, or kind of get open. And that's just being able to have good conversation after throws that we might not have been on the same page about, so that when the fall comes around, we can kind of have all those kinks already out, and we can just go out there and ball.
You brought up how deep this running back room is. Joe Jackson, we saw what he was able to do against Utah. I was told that he ran into the former defensive coordinator of Utah in the back room, now the head coach. And I guess he was like, hey, I got nightmares. I got to walk away from you. And rightfully so. That was such an incredible game. But you also brought in a couple of other individuals as well. We all know about your capability of running. And talking with Coach Klein, we all know about his background. But, of course, I told him it's all about balance. It's not about just you're going to run. But I'm sure you're probably envisioning what this rushing attack could be in 2026.
Yeah, and I think we have a bunch of ball carriers and even guys that we can just kind of get the ball into space, even at receiver, and let them, kind of go as extended run plays or whatever it might be. But like, I think you have Joe and Money coming back, and then you add in Jay and RJ. And I think we have backs, 4 different backs that have 4 different skill sets and do 4 different things really well. And I think being able to utilize those backs and to their strengths, I think is going to be really exciting and fun to see how Coach Klein comes up with ideas to get everybody touches and be able to spread the love. And then you add me into the rushing attack. But I think it's super important to be able to run the ball because running the ball only opens up the pass game. And I think the best teams in college football have to have a sustained run game and have to be able to run the ball consistently. So without a run game, we're going to be kind of up or going uphill all year. So I think we're not going to have that problem, and we have great offensive linemen to open up those holes and great backs to just be able to take the ball and go do their thing.
And then the one component to the rushing attack that's not theoretically part of the plan, but it could be a weapon, is the scramble ability. During the offseason, how do you go about working on that and kind of improving the feel? Because it's more so of a feel thing, right? When you're trying to scramble, more so than, well, I'm going to take off right now. I'm sure it's just more so just trying to get a good feel of how things are going to go for Avery Johnson.
Yeah, I feel like it's a natural instinct, and I think high school, coming into my first year of college, I had that natural instinct, and I think I kind of played into a narrative of being too much of a thrower the past 2 years, and kind of took that instinct away from myself. And just this past spring, I think Coach Klein can attest to it. And anytime I scramble, he always says you can't go broke making a profit, and if you get a first downs are what keep drives alive. So there's never been a time where he has bashed on me for scrambling or said you scrambled too early or you got out of the pocket too early here, because it really is an instinct and a feel thing. And he's like, if I had something good drawn up and you scrambled and we got positive yards out of it, I'll call it again. But don't take your natural instinct away from the way you play the position, and really just go out there and be an athlete. Because I feel like when I'm relaxed and I'm playing like an athlete, I play a whole different version of football.
And you definitely took care of your body. Coach Klein said you had a pretty darn good winter. So I know that's the other aspect. It's, Avery Johnson getting hurt, that type of thing. But I'm sure you're probably not really thinking about that, honestly. But I'm assuming this past offseason, though, getting a chance to, again, put more weight on your body, the good weight, the good muscle, I'm sure it's, all right, here we go. Like, now I'm ready to run someone over, not necessarily going to just use my speed. Now I'm ready to run someone over. Maybe I'm not recommending that. I don't know, but I just figured I'd ask you about that too, just how you feel, going into this season.
Yeah, I think we had an incredible strength staff. I think those guys really pushed me further than I thought I could be pushed, even in the weight room, and really made lifting and conditioning and stuff like that fun for me. And it's really just competing at the end of the day. If you have that mindset in anything you do, like, hey, I'm going to go compete in the weight room today, and kind of make little goals or competitions with yourself, I think that makes a night and day difference. But football is a violent sport. It's a violent game. Injuries are going to happen. You never know when they're going to come, when they're not going to happen. So you kind of just got to play the game free. And I think being able to run the ball is kind of and run somebody over and stuff like that is just like never been my type of game. Even in high school, it was always just being faster, juking and running around.
That was never
guys.
your thing back in high school. Yeah.
But I think my dad says it a lot. My trainers say it a lot. Like, if you use gravity and you use force and you use speed and weight and all that different type of stuff, and you know how to use it the right way, delivering the blow and getting hit is two completely different things. So I think this offseason I've really been trying to do a really good job of, hey, how can you deliver the blow? How can you use your speed? How can you keep your feet running through a tackle, so that, hey, whenever you are getting tackled and you do run into somebody, it's not always like, dang, I'm getting hit. I'm getting hit 15 times a game. Like, how can I deliver the blow to a defender, and how can I be more of a strength runner rather than not, and then just protecting myself whenever I can, not taking unnecessary hits, but understanding where the yard markers are, and then getting the extra yard when I need to.
Where's the Avery Johnson strawberry lemonade? Where is this thing? I had that at the Wichita Open not too long ago, because it's like, yes, I remember the first time I had a strawberry lemonade was over there at the Wichita Open. So in order to have a successful season this year, what has to happen? Loaded question, I know.
I think the biggest thing is we have to start fast, and we can't expect anything to be handed to us. I think we have to come in with a chip on our shoulder, that underdog mentality every game, no matter who we're coming up against. And then it has to be 60 minutes of fight, and we have to pay attention to all the details and can't look too far out ahead, and just got to take each week like a 1 week season, or each game like a 1 week season, and stack games, stack weeks. And I think by the time it's November and we're looking back, we'll be like, hey, we had something here that nobody believed in from the start, but all we need is the heads inside that facility, and I think we'll be just fine.
All right. Well, I do have some breaking news. Ryan Lackey staying right there. Just want to let you know, we ran the honorary ESPYs program that we do every year. Avery Johnson was up for the ballot for the Division I Male Athlete of the Year, and Mr. Avery Johnson is the winner for Division I Male Athlete of the Year, courtesy of the honorary ESPYs for ESPN Wichita. So congratulations. I want to break that news to you right here. What does it mean, I guess, to have that support from Wichita still?
I appreciate it. I mean, like, the support from Kansas as a state has just been great, and that's one of the main reasons why I love playing for Kansas State, and I love being here. Is just all the support I have from all the cities in Kansas and all the love. Maybe not in Lawrence.
Yeah, I was just saying, there's one city I think you would probably rule out, but
everywhere else. But no, it means a lot, and just to be recognized is a credit to everybody else around me. So I'm super blessed for it.
Well, I saw the look on Lackey's face. He's like, "Oh, what's going to happen here?" Everything's good. Everything's fine, Lackey. You're okay. Avery, real pleasure, man. I'm glad we had a chance to do this once again. Third time you've been here. I'm sure you're getting sick and tired of it, but appreciate you, man. Congratulations again on the honorary ESPY, and best of luck to you this upcoming season.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.